What is a healthy separation? For us, we would define that as a hard restart. What's happening in your relationship's not working. It's getting toxic. So we need to separate, work on ourselves on our own, and then rejoin with healthier habits. So when you're separated, you're actually replacing the time you'd spend bickering with each other.
Yes.
And instead working on yourself. And in a lot of ways, you disarm the toxic patterns, because the time when you're separated and when you are interacting together, you're stopping the bad habits and you're being very purposeful with
5, and our last tip is have a timeline and a plan. This is the biggest mistake that Casey and I see with couples, is they go into separation and there's no timeline, there's no plan. Everything's up in the air. They don't know their next steps. And so it will feel like all those myths we talked about, a vacation, a break, and that's not what we want you to do. And so we just gave you 4 steps. We gave you a plan. You have a lot of work ahead of you. You're meeting with a counselor, you're working on yourself, you're journaling on your free time, you're figuring out, why do I respond that way? And what are my triggers, right? You're doing all of these things. And so now you have a plan. And so we need to make sure that you also have a timeline and really narrow down, like, when are we going to check in and when is this going to end, so that there is motivation and kind of like a finale.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's like the COVID thing, right?
Yes.
When they said 2-week lockdown, I think everyone was like, all right,
We got
sounds
this.
great. And then it got extended. And then it got extended. And
Again.
it just keep getting extended and extended.
Yeah.
And there's no plan. And I think we all collectively have gone through this trauma of this thing that has it's like nebulous. It has no plan. And so the same with separation. You will drive each other crazy if there is no game plan and there is no timeline.
And I will tell you, I was a child raised in a home where my parents were separated. 5 years on and off. It
5
is
years. 5 years.
So damaging to everybody because it's confusing. It causes a lot of insecurities because you just don't know what's going to happen. And so here's how this works. You're sitting down with your spouse. Do you love your dog more than you love your spouse? Have you felt lonely in your marriage and you're looking for companionship? We all want a best friend to do life with. Become a member today and get access to videos just like this one and fall back in love with your spouse.